So, the focus group research is in. People don't hate watch Cody anymore. They just hate him. We need to pivot this season. Ideas?
We could examine how Cody's growing narcissism harmed the lives of his children.
I'm not feeling it.
We could explore how Kody and the wives have been benefiting financially from spreading false information about their harmful polygamous lifestyle.
Too much of a bummer.
We could just film Christine as she giggles about getting married.
I think you need a promotion.
Air. Earth. Fire. Loyalty. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation demanded more. Only the patriarch, husband to all four elements, could play fair. But when the OG wives needed him most, he vanished. 18 seasons passed, and we have discovered the new star, an airbender named Christine. And although her cooking spin-off is just okay, she has a lot to live up to before she's ready to save anything. But I believe Christine can save this show.
Hello, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Angie. This is my husband, Tim. We are a channel that discusses sister wives. I tend to do a lot of the recap/summary, whilst Tim contributes a lot of the review/insights. Today we are recapping from Mykelti's Baby Sprinkle.
They do so many parties, and I don't think any of them look fun.
Well, we know at least one person enjoyed being the center of attention. Mykelti?
Yes.
So for announcements, if you follow me on my TikTok, you might have already seen today's animation called Quality Content Part 2. I made it way back in June of 2024 because I thought there was going to be a spring premiere, and obviously there wasn't.
Yeah, they really waited to the last second on that, didn't they?
Yeah. I also thought there was going to be a spring premiere because I thought Mykelti hinted that that was the case. I guess she was telling the truth in that instance, that she didn't know or she couldn't say. Also, you might have noticed I changed my intro from my Friends parody to my avatar, The Last Airbender one. In my Friends intro, I'd had the lyrics, so you didn't know polygamy was bad, you have got no husband, your kids have got no dad, he's not there for you, like he hasn't been there before, he's not there for you. I wasn't comfortable having those words be sung so nonchalantly given recent events. It just hits too close for comfort.
It's shocking that they even had another season.
Yeah, I was very surprised that they greenlit season 19. The Avatar parody focuses more on Christine finding joy in her new life and possibly making the show more watchable. Although I will say, this season seems to be geared more towards Meri's story/journey out of Cody's fear.
I guess it's only been one episode.
And also, I didn't have the creativity or time to come up with an entirely new parody intro, so this is what I have.
They take forever to make.
Well, between that and then I also was doing a rewatch plus my part-time job, so things are a little busy.
They're very busy.
Just a reminder, don't share the recaps on Reddit.
Yeah, Angie can't take the Reddit eye on her, so...
Anyways, I'm excited to talk about this episode, so let's delve straight into it. Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 1, A House Divided Cannot Stand.
Have they never used that title before? It seems like it's really on the nose.
I don't think they've used that title before.
Anyway.
We begin Season 19 with a message relaying that the events we are about to watch occurred in late 2022. Production addresses the fact that Garrison passed away in March 2024. I thought it was appropriate for TLC to preface the season this way because this was in the back of everyone's minds ever since it happened. how are they going to be sensitive about this event whilst showing really old footage? They acknowledged that everything we will see is not recent, so I thought that was right.
They might as well put it front and center.
But it made me think what I was about to watch was pointless.
It was.
Because this is when you said this is like everyone who has read a book that was adapted into a movie. Everyone knows what's going to happen.
It comes down to how are they going to frame things? How are they going to tell the story? But we already know what happens. It's weird that they're having this problem. It's almost like the problem would go away if there was, I don't know, a smaller gap between when it happens and when it airs.
I don't know why they're taking so long to put stuff up in the show. The opening has changed. The ex-wives are wearing light-colored shirts, whilst Kody and Robyn are wearing black to give the imagery that these two are the heels of the show.
I wonder if they told Kody and Robyn that's what they were intending.
Yeah, or did Kody and Robyn agree to this color scheme? That would mean that Kody and Robyn are okay with being outright portrayed as the villains.
I think they might just be ignorant that production was going to do that.
Okay. All 3 rings fall off, but they forgot the fire. That was an animation I did during season 17.
Oh, we were so much younger back then.
And before you comment on it, the date was 9/11 in the original ad. That wasn't intentional.
It was just happenstance.
Cody tells us that his dream of having that big, happy, polygamist family is no more. So his next line confuses me. He says that he's still unsure of how to categorize his and Meri's relationship. He doesn't know if they're divorced. They're just not in a marriage relationship anymore. Something must be out of order because the season 18 finale was pretty clear that they both decided on divorce.
I don't think that mine and Robyn's relationship will be too much different than what it's been. And also, I need to figure out how to be friends with my ex-husband's wife.
This is goodbye. It was a negotiation that was long overdue. I mean, it's been maybe a wasted 7 years for Meri, but we've agreed. Now, I hope she finds peace, because I will.
I mean, they showed that previously on Recap when that happened. I don't know why Cody is now backtracking on what he thinks about his relationship status to Meri.
Maybe he has retrograde amnesia.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because even Meri says it later that she and Cody had that breakup conversation a week ago. He's certainly dragging this storyline of divorce out so badly. I don't get it.
I think that this episode is a bit of a recap episode to try to catch people up if they hadn't watched the last 10 seasons.
This is a summary episode where they're rehashing everything that has been going on for the past 8 years.
Yeah, they're trying to catch people up so they can understand, but it's bad television. Most people skip recaps for a reason.
Don't skip a recap.
If we get to the point where we start recapping our own recaps, I give you permission to skip them.
Today, Cody and Robyn are driving together to Coyote Pass to discuss what its fate will be.
Which is the only thing they ever do on Coyote Pass. They just go out there to think about the future. That's the only purpose that it plays. Oh, it's stupid.
So they think about that future. They imagine where Robyn's house will be. And Cody playfully asks her if she still wants to build. Robyn confirms that, but Cody is not on board with this anymore. Naturally, since the parties involved are divorcing themselves from the situation, there is pressure to pay off the land in the allotted time.
And the whole thing comes off as completely stupid because we know they're moving anyway because, gasp, we live in the now time and not in the 2 years ago time.
There was a rumor that Cody and Robyn are going to live in a much bigger mansion and they would move into it or have at least the house in their name in October.
Of this year?
Yes, of this year.
Do you think they sold Coyote Pass to pay for it?
I don't know. I'd have to wait for the sleuths to come out with the land records.
Somebody's going to do that.
Yeah.
This fandom is insane.
Going back to the land, Cody gripes to us that Christine robbed him of his and Robyn's money. She kept the money from the sale of her house to start her new life. Once more, I am annoyed that Cody keeps telling us that this money is his when that money belonged to the family pot, to which Christine should have had access to.
Yeah, Christine bought her own house with her own money. It perfectly exemplifies the way that Cody sees the family as an extension of himself.
And that's why he's such a...
I mean, one of the reasons.
He complains that rebuilding the cul-de-sac, but in Flagstaff, was always the goal of the family. And I'm thinking, that right there, you had that dream in your hands in Vegas, and you let that go for whatever reason. So stop saying Flagstaff was the dream.
Retrograde amnesia. That's the only explanation.
The failed patriarch gives us the line of the episode. We're less of a family, and more of like a bunch of people who own the same property. Yes, this was something we said during the season one-on-ones, that this family is less of a family and more of a bunch of co-workers that need to put up with one another in order to perpetuate a TV show. I'm glad you finally got there, Cody, at least for a few minutes.
You hit it right on the head. Way to go, Cody.
Meri clarifies that despite having that breakup conversation a week ago, technically, things could keep going the way things have always been. It's up to her now to basically call her church to officially cancel her spiritual sealing to Cody. She clarifies that that would take some time.
Yeah, apparently you can't just go on their website and do it. You gotta call them. Such a pain in the...
I mean, if the AUB is anything like the mainstream Mormon church, they're probably also very pedantic and bureaucratic about their records. Robyn and Cody do some unnecessary back and forth on whether Meri will help pay for the land. Want to build something on Coyote Pass with them. Robyn is still in denial, saying Meri wants that option open to her. Regardless of this prospect, Cody wants to unload the land onto someone else and move on. He goes, "This place is just a source of pain for me."
Everything is a source of pain for Cody now.
Robyn professes that she still has fantasies of Meri and Janelle building their houses out there. That used to be true for Christine, but that ship has sailed.
Even Robyn's fantasies have a limit.
We segue to what's going on with Christine. She says that she was initially afraid of breaking up with Cody because she was intimidated by the single life, which she has now come to embrace. She has just started to get into the dating scene. This footage is so old.
I think it's insulting that they think that we will eat this up. But hell, we are, apparently.
We're recapping this and parsing and combing through every word, trying to get something out of it.
They don't respect us, and we don't seem to care.
I mean, they showed us the wedding, which come October, they would be now celebrating their 1-year anniversary.
Is this normal for reality TV shows?
I don't know. Sister Wives is probably the only reality show I've been watching long time. Other reality shows I've been into have been more recent.
Anyway, somebody somewhere is doing a bad job, and we are suffering because of it.
Robyn doesn't want another paycheck to leave their family pot, so she is still rooting for Cody and Janelle to heal and get things sorted out.
Yeah, I was really annoyed with Robyn here.
Janelle is adamant, though, that reconciliation is not imminent due to enjoying her life without Cody.
We always knew that Janelle would enjoy living without Cody because she always was...
low maintenance.
I was going to say out in a teepee miles into the desert by herself and doesn't really need very much connection with people, let alone Cody, so we're not surprised about that.
Yeah, and the fact that Cody messed this up just shows you how terrible he is at being a polygamist.
I don't think Janelle ever needed Cody, really. She was very happy to be away from him.
I mean, they did say that, I think, in the Vegas seasons, where Cody accused Janelle of being happy that he brought his little duffel bag because that symbolized her independence.
Why is he upset about her being independent if he doesn't actually support her? That just means that she's low effort.
That's because he wants her to want him while he's not thinking about her. The last wife continues talking out of both sides of her mouth, saying she put 100% into being committed to the family. And we all know why that's untrue, due to the fact she isolated her part of the family from the bigger picture, not calling or texting Meri during the holidays. You know, just your typical Robynisms.
I don't know. I mean, Robyn keeps doing this. She keeps wanting special treatment. She wants a double standard. She wants other people to support her, but she never wants to support them. She's always telling other people to work out their issues so that she doesn't have to do anything or she doesn't have to work on anything. And she's mad at Cody for not just making it work with Janelle, which is extremely selfish because she's only concerned about whether or not things work out for herself. She's not concerned about whether or not Cody or Janelle even want it to work out. She just wants it to work out for herself.
She is just a very self-obsessed person. Again, Kody and Robyn are made for each other. Cody responds saying that he'd rather scrap the whole deal with Coyote Pass and start over somewhere else. Shocker. Robyn is displeased with his reasoning and vetoes it. They are at an impasse and are unable to continue the conversation. She says that she can't let go of that porch dream. She didn't say porch, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And the porch dream is so disturbing because she sees these women as props.
Yeah, she is the center of everyone's story.
She doesn't care who these women are. It only matters that they're there fulfilling her dream.
It's really gross. For some reason, Cody believes their issues unfolded when he suggested the one-family house. I will say this again. In a podcast with Kate Casey, Casey interviewed Christine, who admitted that she wanted to sever herself from Cody in Vegas. Christine relayed this to Janelle, who advised her to become financially independent. Christine vetoed the one-house plan hard because she had no intention of having her equity tied up in the family. So no, Cody, the big house was not a catalyst. This was already in the works.
See, this is another example of Cody's narcissism. He thinks that the women are doing the things they do only as a reaction to his own behavior.
I mean, technically it was. Christine wanted to be out of Cody's sphere because of his unfair treatment.
Well, okay, maybe it's not a symbol of his narcissism. Maybe it's a symbol of how simplistic his worldview is. He thinks that this was the entire cause, when in reality...
Yeah, it's little steps that it takes to get to where you are.
Yes. It was going to happen even if he didn't show the...
blueprints.
The poorly drawn blueprints of this big old disaster house.
During this whole conversation, Robyn is fussing with her hair, whilst a swarm of flies are buzzing over her. They must be near the water, the poop pond. That made me so uncomfortable. I could just imagine she's talking and one of the flies gets in her mouth. Like, go to a different spot, please. Cody was unaffected, though. Maybe all that Moroccan oil made for some insect repellent?
Maybe.
Cody then goes on a rant, saying he doesn't know where he fits into the family anymore, even going so far as to say he's been excommunicated from it. He first likens the sentiment to Meri, saying he doesn't know where she fits, and then he applies that to himself.
I mean, they don't?
Because remember in, season 14, when he went to therapy with Meri, and he said to Nancy, I can't be in a marriage to her because she doesn't get along well with most of her sister wives and the older children, and now he's in that exact same spot. And that's when we said, by that logic, Cody, you need to be shoved into a cannon and blasted out of the family.
Just eject him into cold space.
Oh boy. He says he doesn't feel connected to anyone but his Robyn children because of how infrequently the OG-13 reach out to him. So he doesn't feel like family to them.
What is family anyway, as a concept?
Well, there's the family you're born with, and then the family that you choose. Again, it's just people that you're willing to put time, mostly time into. Because that's what life is made of. Time.
Yes, life is made out of time. If these people are your family, let them be your family. And if they're not your family, then just say it and stop making a TV show about it.
I'm annoyed about this thought because, like you said, he needs to stop complaining and pick up the phone. That apparently goes both ways. But he turns that around and says, what do I do with all this? You call them. You drop by their house. You have all the money to buy airplane tickets, Cody. You can drive to their house.
You don't have a real job. Just go there. He's such a man baby.
We'll get more into this when the subject of Maddie is brought up. Meri is spunky in her confessionals, saying that she's great with Kody and Robyn, living happily ever after, as long as they can honestly tell her where they stand with Meri herself. She goes, just be effing honest with me. At this point, Meri needs to do what Robyn should have done. She needs to walk away from the situation, even if said people aren't going to give you the kind of closure you want. Because remember, Robyn was like, I don't think I can be happy with Cody until the other wives give me permission to do so. That would be disrespectful. Girl, just do your own thing. Take control of your life, Meri and Robyn.
Yeah, Meri was very spirited this episode.
Yeah, very confident, feisty.
Feisty, that's the word.
Speaking of someone who is feisty, we head on over to Salt Lake City. There is a shot of the Salt Lake rail system and the entry of Mykelti's house with a banner over it saying, roll the dice. We are at Mykelti's baby sprinkle, and the theme is Vegas or gambling. Either way, they're probably reusing the decor from season 7.
Okay, so now I'm starting to put 2 to 2 together. They're all dressed like cards. There's Vegas buffet, gambling tables, and Christine goes, this is your Vegas. This is your Vegas vacation. And it looks like a big party.
Okay, so this was just our way of saying thank you.
I mean, you have the decorations. You might as well reuse them.
They probably did just keep them in one of those big plastic bins.
At the Puddle Monkey building.
Maybe.
Christine teaches us the difference between a full-on baby shower and a sprinkle. Your first kid gets the shower, but ideally, since all of the baby stuff will be reused, any subsequent parties will be more toned down, aka a sprinkle, because you would get less of the essentials. Which I figure because Mykelti is having 2 at once, she might as well get the full-on baby shower, because she will need at least 1 more party's worth of baby supplies.
I don't know if this is a thing or not. I've never heard of a baby sprinkle before. Maybe this is just something that they told Christine so that they would not have to keep giving Christine things.
But I'm pretty sure Robyn had a full-on baby shower with Ariella.
Yeah.
And Christine was in charge of that. Anyways, Mykelti informs us that she is due in early December. Aspen lets the viewers know that despite living in Vegas for several years, she still has no idea how to play blackjack. Don't worry, Aspen. Robyn doesn't know how to play either.
Family of 17.
Congratulations.
Lucky 17.
Well, since you're in Vegas, are you gonna hit or are you gonna stand? I'm just kidding. You're gonna hit?
What does that mean?
So this is your 17th child.
This is my 17th child.
Blackjack is like the easiest of the card games.
Yeah.
You hit, you stay, or you double down. Anyway.
Anyways, that is exactly what the theme is. Double down, a term used in blackjack. It's also a term to denote that there are double babies in Mykelti. We see some of the guests in attendance. Logan and Michelle, Mitch, Aspen obviously, Ysabel, Truly, Stephen, Levi, Christine's brothers. Janelle was unable to come though, but someone who's definitely not invited is Meri. This was sort of implied last season, the Zoom gender reveal, that she's not invited to anything centered around Mykelti. I was listening to old episodes. During Mykelti's wedding, Mykelti seemed to have high regard for all her moms, which I'm guessing includes Meri. And Meri had high regard for Mykelti. I was thinking, did something happen between 2017 and now?
Hello. Looks like bride day.
Yes.
Mykelti, it's wedding day.
Hello, mothers.
So something blue.
Something blue.
Yes.
All right. The bag.
Not the
Is that
bag.
my bag tucked down the aisle?
pearls.
Oh my gosh,
they're blue pearls for your, like, it's a bracelet or a set of bracelets.
That is
You said
cool.
that you were wearing pearls, so I hope that you can wear that, and I hope it all fits with your dress.
That is
Do you like that? When Mykelti was in high school, she had this vision of what she was going to do with her life. And she was like dead set on what she was going to do. But I have loved seeing her transform into the woman that she is and have this new dream and this new focus and coming into this new life with Tony. I think it's really sweet.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Meri.
You're welcome.
I was thinking that maybe production demanded that Meri attend Mykelti's wedding.
Mykelti was the one that said it's tradition for a bride to have something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. And I happen to have 4 moms. So I'm just going to, divvy up those responsibilities. That was Mykelti's choice.
But production could have also said, we're not paying for any of it unless you have all 4 wives. And then she could say, you know what? I think I can let Meri come.
So Meri was a prop?
Maybe. I mean, they're all props.
But anyways, that just struck me as odd because I was under the impression Mykelti was mad about things that happened before her wedding in 2016.
I think you're overthinking it. Okay. And also you are overestimating these people's ability to
backtrack.
I was going to say talk out their
Oh, okay. Back to Meri. It cuts to her saying she has not communicated to either of her ex-sister wives that she is now an ex-sister wife.
And they probably don't care either way.
That is not untrue. The guests are playing a very legit game of blackjack with an actual croupier. That's the dealer.
Ooh, somebody Googled something.
Yeah. And there's an actual felt green table. Christine tells us that she is anticipating Kody and Robyn at the Sprinkle. She hasn't met with them together in 2 seasons. And they cut to the knife in the kidney porch scene. Technically, the last time they would have met was, again, Mykelti playing the producer was at that weird send-off at Christine's house.
It's not as dramatic, though.
Yeah, the kidney scene is iconic. Either way, that was in 2021, and it is still 2022. Dang, do they drag these out?
Well, we keep watching.
Both Christine and Kody share the same feelings of not looking forward to meeting the other. Christine jokes that maybe the gambling aspect of the party should be construed as to whether or not Christine, Kody, and Robyn will be cordial. So make bets if they will be.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was clever the first time she said it, but then didn't she make that joke twice more?
Yeah, it's padding at this point. Robyn, ever the victim, justifies going no contact with Christine due to Christine telling her that she didn't want a relationship with Robyn or any of her children. Oh, no, wait. Christine didn't say that. She said,
I think for right now, I need space. Okay. For right now.
Robyn is insufferable because she keeps repeating that she doesn't play the victim, but she is the very definition of that.
It's worse than that. She keeps saying that Christine hates her kids, and that doesn't seem like something that Christine would do or say.
Yeah. In the last one-on-one, Christine said she is not interested in building bridges with Robyn because that would take interest, and she has no interest at all. But she never said that about Robyn's 5.
Yeah, so I can't believe that Christine would say that about children, but I 100% believe that Robyn would lie about that.
We'll get into another lie she says during the Sprinkle. Kody greets Tony first with some presents. He then goes over to Ysabel holding her niece. You can tell how nervous Kody is when he goes straight for the baby. He's trying to distract himself with Avalon because he's so awkward around his family. Aspen helps him out a little, asking if he'd like to play blackjack. Kody then admits a very true attitude of his. He tells her, I'll play with somebody else's money. I'll take every risk I should have before. Which is funny because Robyn and Kody are gambling the rest of Meri and Janelle's money, hoping that their art prints will appreciate.
He puts everybody else in danger while insulating himself. It's pathetic.
Yeah, Kody is never willing to put his money where his mouth is. Anyways, Christine narrates the mood of the party, at least from her vantage point. She is feeling the underlying tenseness due to deliberately not greeting her ex and Robyn. She doesn't feel the need to have superficial interaction with them because she doesn't want to be disingenuous. I get it. I don't feel the need to overexert more energy on people who hate me. There's no point in that.
Yeah, the whole thing's awkward.
Robyn then lets slip that due to the tumult in the family, she and Cody are, gasp, not in their honeymoon phase of their marriage anymore. Because remember, she used to say she wanted to keep that going forever like her parents had.
We said that was impossible back then. It's impressive they went as long as they did.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because everyone is leaving Cody. It is making him very negative and rejected.
Makes it difficult for him to love himself.
Mm-hmm. And that's what she says, this negativity that's projected onto her is making him think that she is also going to leave him like the other three. She's trying to say he's self-sabotaging his last marriage.
But I feel like Robyn would leave. I mean, if there was no Robyn, I assumed that they would have just stayed for forever.
Yeah.
But the opposite is true of Robyn. Robyn, without the other three wives, I have a very hard time
envisioning that she's going to be a ride or die.
Yeah, I can't imagine her staying in the exact same situation.
Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, Cody says that he appreciates all the support his last wife is giving him. Her words of affirmation in that he is still a good man helps him persevere through this hell that he has created. I don't know. That's the problem, Robyn. He still thinks he's a good man. Maybe he needs to be outright told that he isn't. He goes on saying that it's hard believing these affirmations because he has 3 women that are blaming him for the bad marriages.
Do you think Robyn is the reason why Cody can't admit that he did anything wrong?
Yeah, like we said last season, she has been the one that's gaslighting Cody, not Janelle or anyone else he's accusing of that things were good in the cul-de-sac or that he's a good husband.
It's hard to deal with Cody in this episode because he's bouncing back and forth between his normal, delusional, hate-filled, stupid self and this really vulnerable, self-loathing side.
Mm-hmm.
It's too
extreme.
Yeah, 2 tastes that don't go well together.
Because what should happen is that he needs to take some accountability, meet the wife in the middle, but he needs to make it so that when he gets to that point, it doesn't let him crumble and then make him unable to do anything anymore.
He is acted like a piece of shit, but that doesn't mean that he has no inherent value as a person. He can always just stop being a piece of shit.
So he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't look in the mirror and say, hey dude, I love you. He's trying to find spiritual comfort, but is unable to because he feels his prayers aren't what they used to be. In the past, he'd thank God for his beautiful family, but now that family isn't praising him anymore. So he is struggling real hard to love himself. His exact words were, for years they, meaning Janelle and Christine, were singing my praises, but now they're loathing me. If they're trashing me to the public, just imagine what they say to my children.
I mean, doesn't that go double for you, Cody? Because you're so much worse in public.
Yeah, because this is the same thing he said during the Janelle fight, where he says, how dare you, Janelle, you sit in the same spot that I'm sitting in, and then you talk bad about me to the world. And I'm like, you do that in every talking head. What are you complaining about?
He's delusional. Everything applies to everyone else, but not to him.
Robyn corroborates with her husband's paranoia, saying Cody is convinced that Christine is gossiping to her children behind his back. She then says, but I've been through a divorce. I know the rules. I would never, ever badmouth their mother to them. But I'm thinking, she has. That's why Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna, as Christina said, none of them returned any of her calls when she claimed to have invited them to her wedding. They only have Robyn's word to go on, so Robyn, you are definitely telling your family that they were voted off the Brown family island.
Also, it doesn't help that you've taken great effort to alienate your children from their biological father.
Yeah, she went on such a tirade against that guy, saying he was some kid that threw her purity on the ground. You're the example of trash talking your ex, Robyn. There is a scene where Mykelti is about to cut the cake. Cody comes within a foot of Christine. He doesn't initiate any small talk. He just grabs a cake pop and leaves. And you can see in the background, Robyn is halfway inside the kitchen and outside, poking her head out. It was really weird. And this is when Christine says she feels for Kody and Robyn because they're the outsiders within this get-together.
I don't know why Mykelti wanted them there.
I guess she was still close to Robyn. I don't know if that bodes true anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if she was really close to Robyn, then she probably wouldn't pressure Robyn into going to an event that she'd be so uncomfortable at. Again, I think production might have demanded them show up to this thing, or else they wouldn't have paid for the blackjack guy.
Mm-hmm. It's like that send-off in season 17 again. Anyways, Cody claims that he will make it through to the other side after experiencing such immense failure. I don't know when these talking heads were filmed, because usually they're filmed as the entirety of the footage is wrapped up. So I don't know if this happened after Garrison passed. So he's saying, oh, this is the pinnacle of failure right now. Is that why he's tearing up?
That would make more sense rather than him crying over Christine or Janelle or Meri.
I think this is a reminder. Don't take for granted the relationships you might have, even if you perceive them as less than ideal.
If something would hurt you if it was gone, then you need to treat it as something that is important.
Mm-hmm. Those were my thoughts on Cody's cynicism.
Yeah.
Change of scenery. Ysabel is moving out of North Carolina. For the past year or so, she has been a great help to Maddie and Caleb and attending the local community college there. But now that Christine is in Utah, the 19-year-old is anxious to join her, albeit not under her roof. Ysabel has been accepted into the University of Utah and will be living in Salt Lake as well.
It's weird that Christine has this brief aside where Ysabel is very unwilling to live with Christine for even a week. But whatever.
Maybe she's just anxious to start dorm life or something.
Yeah, probably.
So during this segment, this is where it's revealed that Maddie is pregnant with her third child, which we learn later is a second daughter named Joey.
Like the kangaroo?
I think the full name is Josephine.
Okay.
At this point, the young mama is in her second trimester and is due in February. I think it's October 2022 right now. Christine contemplates what to make of their plural family, considering not all the sister wives are connected to one another.
Yeah.
The kids don't have a great relationship with the common denominator, as he was once called.
It is weird to think about it like that, because in the Mormon polygamist view of families, the man is the only thing that's important, and they're the one keeping everything together. The women really aren't tied to each other in any kind of official capacity. So if he disappears, the whole thing falls apart. And the issue is that Christine is now grappling with that.
She's trying to grapple with what is her relationship to Janelle if she is no longer attached to this man.
And it's evidence that the entire polygamist concept really doesn't perceive the women as actual people. Because if they did, there would be an answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the official answer is they're just supposed to give the wives to another man.
Yeah, I'll get into that later in the episode.
Which is why polygamy as practiced by these fundamental Mormons is exceptionally male-centric. Well, it is the definition of patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Because the father has control over everything, and the sons and the wives and the daughters get nothing.
Mm-hmm. Going back to Cody, the common denominator, he seems totally out of the loop when he's given the information that Ysabel is moving back to Utah and her two moms helped her. He puts his hand over his eyes in shame, and I think he did that for two reasons. One, because he was shocked at how out of the loop he was about his child's life events, and also because he was fuming at how close Christine and Janelle are. He continues grumbling that he isn't involved in the picture, even though he could have, called Ysabel, check in at any point.
I find it disturbing the way that Cody idealizes the past in which Christine and Janelle
were fighting.
Yeah, whether or not that's true or not, that's neither here nor there. But the fact that he believes that that was a better way to be, and he's upset that they're getting along.
He keeps saying, oh, why couldn't they have been better sister wives when they were actually sister wives? But I'm thinking, so you'd rather go back to the time when they were miserable? He's just upset because they're not singing his praises. They all reconvene at Christine's house. Janelle, Christine, and their daughters. Mykelti has come as well, heavily pregnant. This is, I think, the moment Avalon and EVK officially meet each other. Not that that matters, they're both like 2. They won't remember this. What we glean from this segment is more information on Maddie's relationship to Cody and, this time, Robyn. Last season, we were informed that Maddie thought Cody was inconsistent. Her kids wouldn't recognize Cody as their grandfather because of his general absence/lack of grandparenting. This time we learn that Maddie has written both Robyn and Cody off since they put no effort into being, what did Robyn say her grandma name was? Bubby? Cody is asked what the status of his relationship is with his second eldest daughter. He refuses to comment, going, nope. Like, seriously.
The smug.
Every time Cody says nope, production needs to dock a 0 off his paycheck. This is your entire job, Cody. Maybe he was trying to be more sensitive because he thought that was considered trash talking.
Cody, the way that employment works is that we trade unpleasantness and labor for money. If your job doesn't include unpleasantness, then...
It's not a job.
Then it's not a job.
He can just say, we're struggling right now. I'm having a hard time being a grandfather to people that are so far away. Or something. Just give us something. But when he just outright goes, nope.
He feels like...
He's the one that gets to direct this show. He controls the conversations.
He thinks that he's so great and he's so powerful and he's so popular that he can just say nope. It's infuriating.
Speaking of infuriating, Robyn does wonder, why isn't Cody doing a better job at reaching out to his adult children? This is also infuriating because she also puts the onus on Maddie, saying she needs to reach out to her father as well. I don't agree with that. I'm probably going to get some flack for this. It's not the child's duty to maintain a relationship with their parent if the parent doesn't reciprocate any efforts the child has already done, because Maddie already made it clear in the past that she wanted her father to have a presence in her life. She made him the main character in her wedding, the biggest event of a girl's life. She named her kid after him. I'm thinking, does Cody not know this? Or is he just bored of these events where it literally glorified him already? And so he's like, you need to do more new things for me. Because if that's the case, Maddie, who keeps putting in all this effort, that's not sustainable. And I can see why she wrote Cody off.
So the thing I'm thinking is that Cody has a fatal diagnosis of main character syndrome. Typically, at this point in Cody's life, when he has these adult children who have their own children, he should ideally have no other children, no other responsibilities. Maybe he's retired, maybe he isn't. Oh, and he should also have the money to be able to visit his children, regardless of where they are. Mm-hmm. But the issue is that Cody has his own young children because he's trying to perpetuate his youth. He can't go and do the things that people his age typically do because he still has the responsibilities of a 20-year younger man.
And I think it's entirely reasonable for Maddie to say, I don't want that in my own child's life, to be inconsistent.
Also, Cody has said that the birthing of his own children is like Christmas to him, but has he really said the same thing about his grandchildren?
No, because he's not the main character.
Hello, this is Editing Angie, and I just went back to watch Axel's birth episode, and yes, Cody does compare the experience to Christmas.
Right now? No, she probably should get some sleep. I realize this dumbest thing is like a kid before Christmas. It's like, go to sleep. Really?
The adrenaline's
really, Dad?
going.
No, I'm gonna wait and see if I can sneak up on Santa Claus, you know?
All right, cool. Take care, kiddo.
All right, you too.
This does not affect my stance because Cody still doesn't visit his grandchildren. Sorry about that. Back to the recap.
I think that Cody doesn't like the idea of grandchildren because it reminds him that he's an old man.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah?
Yes, that's why he keeps having children, because he thinks that that will keep him young.
So watch out, Robyn, for wife number 2. So going back to Maddie, I think Cody is expecting her to go fly down to Arizona, even though he has more of the financial means to visit her. Maddie, she did a podcast interview. I think the podcast was called Somewhat Basic, where she mentioned that her children should be the blessing. They should be the end reward for coming down to see her.
It's a lot easier for a couple of retirees or empty nesters to fly all the way to North Carolina for the weekend than it is for a young mother, her husband, and her 3 very infant children to do the same thing back to Coyote Pass.
Editing Angie here again. I just want to make a correction to Tim's statement that I just realized in post-production. Kody and Robyn are the furthest thing from being empty nesters due to having all of their children under their roof. I still stand by the idea that Cody still has the means to visit Maddie, more so than the other way around. After all, what do the nanny and Robyn do?
I think Robyn makes Cody not go because she says every time you spend time with your grandchildren, your actual, direct children are getting the short end of the stick. I think that's maybe what Robyn is telling him. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I 100% believe that. But, yeah, again, that's also the fault of Cody for
having all these kids with these 30-year age gaps. Anyways, back to the meeting at Christine's house. Christine says that there are more reasons as to why she has summoned her daughters to her house. Aside from Ysabel's move and the wedding, which I'm assuming is Logan and Michelle's, because those two got married in October 2022. It's October 2022. Janelle and Maddie are going to look at property in Montana. Janelle's reasoning is that she's feeling a lack of permanence with Flagstaff. I'm glad that Janelle was at least seriously thinking of physically leaving Cody. We go back to Cody. He is in constant projecting mode, and he says no one clues him into these events as a means to punish him. They know he has FOMO. He is the center of everyone's world, and this, not including him in the dealings of the family, is all a ploy to make Cody suffer.
Guy's delusional.
Again, main character syndrome. He believes everyone is constantly thinking about him when they're not.
And also, it's inconsistent about what things he even wants to be part of. If Janelle was saying, hey, we're going to go to Walmart to get truly contact lenses, Cody's going to say, why the hell are you telling me this? I don't give a crap. So are you just supposed to let him know every time you're going to do anything on the off chance that he actually cares?
Because, like you said, he picks and chooses what he wants to go to. For example, he's upset Ysabel moved out of North Carolina and he wasn't clued in, but when she moved to North Carolina, he didn't want to help her get there. Because remember, he's like, I can know if I can travel because of the gas stations. This was during COVID.
Yeah, during COVID. He's wildly inconsistent. He's like an infant. Everything needs to be okayed. Oh, I don't care about that. Oh, I do care about that. I don't care about that. That's exhausting for everyone.
Mm-hmm. To name another point, when Christine said that she was going to bring Truly, and Cody's like, you need to arrange something with Robyn because I'm going to be busy during that weekend. He's such a pain in the ass. How do you plan anything with him?
God forbid he actually does want to do the thing, but he wants you to reschedule it so you can do it on his time?
Mm-hmm. So back to the conversation. Christine says a huge fear of hers is that Janelle might build on Coyote Pass. This asset will then make it harder to separate herself from Kody and Robyn. Christine prepares some glasses of apple cider, and all the women do a toast to celebrate potentially new beginnings.
So many new beginnings on this show.
Because we don't know if Janelle is outright moving to Montana just now. She might be currently in this moment. We head on down to Nevada. Meri is meeting up with one of her friends, a Vegas resident. Her name is Brandy, and she has known Meri since she first moved from Lehigh to Vegas.
Oh, for a second there, I was wondering whether or not we cut Meri from the recap, but...
No, she's still here.
She's still here.
She's the last segment. So anyways, Brandy lived in the same residential district as the cul-de-sac houses. That's why things look the same. And the interior kind of looked the same.
I get the vibes that she's in the MLM with
Meri. So Meri gives Brandy the monumental, earth-shattering news that she and Cody are officially done after 32 years of unhappy marriage/commitment. Meri makes a joke saying she probably should have been committed for being this committed, implying that she is insane for sticking out with Cody for this long.
It's not a bad joke.
Meri informs her friend how desperate Cody was to rewrite the narrative that he never loved her. Rather, he was just affirming that to himself. If that really were the case, Cody is even more psychopathic than anyone was led to believe. Meri goes, "You picked me out of a bunch of single girls to force your love on me for 32 years? Brandy agrees that something is wrong with this man. Cody says that Meri is full of it, and just like with Maddie, refuses to comment on her little accusations. Again, another zero docked.
Yeah, I thought it was funny with this Brandy when Meri says, "Oh, I'm officially done with Cody." She's like, "Finally!
Yeah!
Girl, you should have done that 10 years ago."
Uh-huh.
And I kind of feel like Meri was insulted a little bit.
Yeah, she's like, did everyone have that same reaction?
Okay, Meri, every single person who's cared about you has been waiting for you to leave Cody. And you're the only one who hasn't figured it out.
Yeah. Meri is flabbergasted that no one in her inner circle wanted her and Cody to work it out.
They had all come to the conclusion that she has finally come to, and they are exasperated with her stubbornness.
Meri finds it abhorrent that Cody wants to frame it as if he and Robyn were the only two that ever mattered, excluding her role in this story. She even brings up the fact that Robyn was only 12 when Cody officially started his journey into being a polygamist. He was technically officially a polygamist when he married Janelle. Brandy chalks it up to a midlife crisis. So I was thinking, does Brandy mean the midlife crisis of marrying Robyn or Cody rewriting his love stories?
I don't know. The criticism that Robyn would have been 10 or 12 years old at the time is valid. I just felt like Meri was chomping at the bit to say it on camera, and she didn't put it in the right place just a little bit.
I think that's how we know that Meri is going to be gloves off this season. Brandy continues saying that Cody is acting more erratic and mean, and she has not seen him try to be kinder to Meri for years. She predicts that Robyn is the most upset by all this. We cut to She-Ra herself. She says that she feels like she's in an alternate reality, trying to wrap her head around everything. This is interspliced with Christine saying Robyn needs to let Meri go. After all, Cody did it years ago without a second thought. With how things are going with Cody, Meri has opted not to renew her Flagstaff lease and will be at the B&B more often. We hear more insight from Meri saying Cody's other excuses of not wanting to be with her was because he believes polygamy is unfair to women. More specifically, being the one to call off a marriage is unfair to him. Cody is obviously absolving culpability, saying he doesn't have the option of divorcing a wife, but they all can divorce him.
So, one, I really, really wish that we could hear Cody talk more about how it's unfair to women, because we all know it is. But I'm interested to see how he's going to try to warp that into some way.
Because my impression of him saying, oh, it's unfair to women, whenever he says that, he then goes back to Nathan and says, oh, but polygamy is the natural order of things because all women are hypergamous and they're just looking for a better man. Me, I'm that man, so they're not getting any short stick of anything. Polygamy is fair. But then he goes, I think it's unfair to women because I don't want to be married to you, Meri. So please leave.
Yeah, I think that polygamy, at least as how these people practice it, is deeply unfair for everyone, but in different ways. Obviously, the women are disenfranchised, and that without the man, everything falls apart.
And Benjamin said this in one of his TikToks where it says it's unfair for the man because he doesn't get to have an equal partner because in their religion, the man is up here and all the women are down here. So he can't get that sort of vulnerability, that connection with them.
The issue is, and going back to the hub analogy, which they love, but in reality, the hub analogy perfectly communicates why everything's so broken. In the hub analogy, the women, if they want to get away, they can just decouple and eject, which is what all of the wives with Cody have done. If Cody wanted to get rid of one of the wives, he wouldn't really be able to eject them because the other wives, they could protest, say Robyn would protest or something like that. What would he do? Kick them out of their home? Because that's their home that they live in. He couldn't get the house back or anything like that. He's stuck with these women. He can't really get rid of them if he doesn't like them anymore, the way that they can just get rid of him if they don't like him anymore. But then there's the financial aspect. If all the money is in the Cody, then they don't have the ability to leave even though they want to. There's all these societal pressures holding the stupid wheel together when everybody's miserable.
Because at this point, you're saying he can't just leave Meri because she would be ejected from her house?
Yeah, he can't get rid of Meri because what is he going to do? Just say, hey, you're not my wife anymore, and then just not talk about her anymore?
I mean, he's certainly been doing that.
Yeah, he's been doing that, but that's the only thing he can do. He can't pull a family meeting and say, I just want to announce that I'm not married to Meri anymore or something like that.
I mean, he totally has the right to do that. I'm just going to say this again. When we went to Benjamin's show in October 2023, I asked him, is there any repercussion if a man in the AUB divorces a wife? He told me no, the woman would just have the option of being reassigned to another man. Although it is very rare for a man in their faith to divorce a woman. But I will say, I don't know if any of this church stuff applies to them because they don't even attend their church building on a regular basis.
Yeah,
I still think Cody has a choice, but he does not want to choose it because it's a hit to his ego.
Yeah, it's definitely a hit to his ego. It's also, he loses social capital if he does it. It's societal pressure, but it's still pressure nonetheless.
Because I have no other explanation as to why he doesn't want to divorce Meri.
Yeah, he feels like he can't. He feels like he's trapped. Is he actually trapped? No, hell no. If you really want to get out, you can get out, but I don't think this polygamy situation has really benefited any of them.
Anyways, back to the conversation with Brandy. Meri is very upset at how much of a coward Cody is due to his lack of communication and honesty over the last dozen years. She was unfairly treated by this man who told the world that he loved all his wives and children, and they flash back to the pilot episode.
Yeah.
Meri assures her friend that she will get her fair share of Coyote Pass, and Christine is not as optimistic, saying she knows how Cody works and will refuse to be fair. And I was thinking, Christine, if you genuinely thought that's how your husband would behave, you probably should have given your share of Coyote Pass directly to Janelle or Meri. It's like, good for you that you exited the family with your share of the equity. But goodness, Christine, think about these other people that are still in this mess.
Yeah, it was a boneheaded move.
Brandy makes a joke that with all three women leaving Cody, that with Coyote Pass being already sectioned out, it opens up the possibility for more wives. And she teases some more, saying Robyn may very well also leave Cody.
Yeah.
I like this friend. She's funny.
Maybe she watches this show.
Yeah, probably. Because, remember, Christine's friends certainly don't. The one that she had dinner with in the attic. So, Meri makes it clear that she doesn't believe Robyn had evil intentions. She makes a note that there are family members who think otherwise. She laments her once close friendship with Robyn, but that's not the case anymore. Now the monogamous couple will have to navigate their new life of dealing with each other. Brandy tells Meri to throw Cody under the bus as revenge for being garbage to her. Meri insists that she won't. Her friend chuckles, saying she'll be angry on her behalf then. We're getting the same thing that we did last season, where we see a very confident Meri on the couch, but less so when it's on the events on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Meri then tells us a conundrum of what every couple that has broken up has to deal with. What to do with the memorabilia of their past relationship. She mentions the many ornaments gifted by loved ones with their likenesses on them. And I get it, it's weird and tough. I guess you can give them to Leon for family history's sake. I know Mormons are really big into keeping images of their ancestors.
The thing that gets to me is that these are specifically things from Meri's grandmother.
Yeah, she has a history of, wanting to keep heirlooms like the B&B, or just hold on to things that have great sentimental value. I'm just thinking of the time she kept a stack of her late sister's obit.
Even if she doesn't like the pictures of her family, she's going to value them because they were gifts from her grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of in a
tough situation because clearly she's still in a process of grieving. So I can sympathize with that. You're mourning this loss of a relationship that you've held on to for so long. It's okay to feel weird about not wanting to get rid of said keepsakes.
Yeah.
Brandy is not feeling it, saying she is ready to burn said pictures if Meri is feeling up to it.
She watches this show.
Yes. She emphasizes that a happy relationship is waiting for her out there, but Meri needs to let go. Again, this is the same sentiments Christine voiced.
Uh-huh.
The episode ends with a chilling statement from Meri, who is agreeing with Brandy in that there will be a day when Cody will wake up and think, "What the hell did I just do? I just threw it away." Meri goes, "He will be accountable for that, whether he likes it or not." End of episode. My overall thoughts, this was a very bad episode. Mykelti is having a baby sprinkle for children that are turning 2 next month. Whilst I was watching this, I was thinking to myself, I could take any one of these talking head clips and insert them into season 15, 16, or 17 or whatever, and it would not make a difference because all of this is not new. It doesn't give any more insights that we didn't already know.
Okay, you want a summary of this episode?
Yes.
So it's come to this, a Sister Wives recap episode. We hear Cody and the wives telling us things that they've already told us before. Mykelti has another party that is gambling and Las Vegas themed. We find out that Ysabel is moving to the Salt Lake Valley. Maddie makes it official that she doesn't have the time for Kody and Robyn. We discover that Meri has a friend, and that friend probably watches the show.
Mm-hmm. So, just a reminder, I will be releasing my animations on a fortnightly basis. So, not the following week, but the one after. That is when there will be a new skit. That's it. We'll see you in the next recap. Bye!
Well, Cody's down to one wife, and he's feeling kinda blue. Lost 3 out of 4, didn't have a clue. Says it's all their fault, but we know the score. Ain't easy being Cody, no more wives at his door. Oh, Cody, Cody, what you get yourself into? 3 wives have left you.